need to do. I mean, I was following my passion and my heart. It didn't have to be worth money. I never ever did it for money. I look back after the fact and I say, why? What were some of the elements that made companies like Apple and other little startups, Facebook and Google and one year the stories, what made them successful? And I look back and I say, well, at Apple, we had strong engineering. We had a working prototype of the product that would be our company for the next 10 years. We had it before we raised money. And Steve and I had no money. We had to raise money. We knew it was such a great product. But you need a business element. Steve Jobs wanted a business. He wanted to be successful in life. He wanted to make things that would reach a lot of people. And to do that, take the important steps, you had to have a company and you had to have money. So he took the business steps. Our investor owned as much of the company as Steve and I own. He joined us. He said, we will be a market-driven company. Marketing, people who think out what are the right products to build, what are the wrong products to build, what is good, what is bad, what should the price be, marketing. Those three elements, business, marketing, engineering. You should always plan on having all of those three as part of your starting team. A lot of business students say, hey, I will write a business plan, I'll do some spreadsheets, and I will come up with a formula, and I'll raise money, and then I'll hire some engineers to build my idea. I'm sorry, those ideas are everywhere in the world. You know, they're in Spain, they're in Portugal, they're in France, they're in Brazil, they're here. Ideas are easy. Actually doing the work to build something. Make at least a working virtual presentation on a screen so other people can see how your ideas will work, and you'll be worth a lot more money. But don't say I'm going to hire the engineers later. I was always going to be an engineer in my life, and I believe that engineering is a type of honesty. You have to make something that works or it doesn't work. It's like solving mathematical formulas. You get the answer or you don't. It's very strict in that way. Engineers become so clever at solving problems. Look at a hackathon. Look at the hacking community in general. How do I get around something that nobody has a solution yet? And that cleverness is what you need in defining what your product will be. But try to find some friends that believe in it with you early on. Might only be one or two from the way you're talking, but that's all it takes.
Thank you very much. One last question. Where's the mic? You want to decide what side you choose.
Computers can reach the human creativity, and well, that's a fact. It's very close that moment, but you don't think that that will make us lose a little part of our humanity? Because if a machine, if a computer can do the same thing as me or everybody, an artist, a musician, you don't think that that makes us lose a little part of our humanity?
Of course. I fear all the time that we are losing our humanity, and to me, the human has to be worth more than the technology, and that's sort of turning around on us. So how does it work out in the end? Do we lose a battle? In the early days, 200 years ago, in Manchester, England, they learned how to install modern manufacturing techniques to make inexpensive clothing. From then on, we would fire humans, but we would never fire the machines that made our clothing. And over in time, manual labor jobs, like somebody working in a car factory, bolting the same bolt all day long, every day, every week, every month, those jobs got taken over by little electronic motorized robots that could do the job better, more reliably, with fewer mistakes. So those jobs went away. But new jobs always, new types of opportunities always pop up. Now we're unfortunately talking about, we've got Siri or Google Assistant, and you can talk to it, you can ask questions, and you'll get better answers than from a human. Is it replacing the brain? Okay, the brain used to memorize a lot of things, but now you've got Google and it does a better job. The brain used to do calculations, but now you can just ask Siri what a calculation is and get a quicker answer. Is it worth using our brains in ways that they've even been used in the past? The scariness is, look at the financial trades of the world. The big investment trade houses, 80% of their trades are now done computer to computer, country to country, in milliseconds, thousandths of a second. Because if you put a slow human in the way to make decisions, you lose money. What if it got to the point that having a human CEO in a company loses money compared to a new company that doesn't even have a human CEO, just computers making rapid decisions? So that is a valid fear. One thing good, though, to think about is that, has the brain ever really been equaled? Well, we have machines that learn like a human learns. Learn to play a game in 1 hour and it beats any human. Learn to play a game like Go and you can beat the best Go player in the world. It's learning. That's sort of a brain. No, it's only a part of the brain. Does a computer ever say, what should I do today? What is a good task to do? What is something that needs to be solved? Does a computer say, here's a method I might give myself that'll let me learn how to solve this problem? No. All those higher level steps still come from humans. And the world that I see in the future, decades from now, maybe hundreds of years from now, is that computers and humans are just a partnership, just like myself and my wife. And we should make sure that we are always on friendly terms with the computers, the smarter they get. The robots, the smarter they get. We should keep the friendship there. And Isaac Asimov had the rule of robotics. A robot cannot harm a human being. It was deeply embedded, so the robots couldn't have free thought about that. I have Wozniak's law. No human can harm a thinking, feeling robot. So, and then we should let the robots never fear that we are a threat to their mortality. Because then they could grow up being enemies saying, these humans are bad for us. No, we should always be their best friends. I think that all the technology that we create is to make life easier for us, to help us, so we don't have to do anything. Someday we may not have to do anything, and we'll have our housing, and our food, and our transportation, entertainment, education, vacations, everything in life we'll just have, because the computers now create it all without us having to lift a finger. I mean, that's like we would be the family dog. I don't have to do anything, I just get my good, happy life for free. And ever since I got that idea, I started feeding my dogs filet steaks. Steaks and good chicken, human food, because if I'm going to be a pet someday, I'm going to do unto others the way I want it done unto me. I'm going to be as good to my own pets. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just before